Hosa again. Hope you guys are all having a pretty good week and enjoying the content that we've been putting out. I'm going to continue today talking and going more into depth on our Adulting 101 week. And today we're going to talk about credit for beginners. So, what is credit? Credit is something that you are borrowing now that you plan to pay back later, usually with interest. So some examples of credit. I'm sure most of you are familiar with a credit card. There's a loan from banks, the mortgage on a house, maybe a car loan, amongst some other things. So I mentioned that credit is something that you pay usually with interest. But what is interest? So interest is a fee or a percentage of the money that you're borrowing that you have to pay for using somebody else's money. So for example, my example is going to be a credit card. When you open a credit card, some company owns and is giving you that money. So let's say you have, I don't know, like a Chase credit card. Chase is giving you that money. And in return for them giving you that money, you're going to have to pay them some money back, which is what interest is. So let's say your credit card has a 20% interest rate. And generally, interest rates vary. On a credit card, it might be somewhere between like 15 and 25%-ish. So on this credit card, you've got a 20% interest rate on a balance of $1,000. So your interest rate is, like for credit cards, is generally accrued over the course of a year. So it's they call it APR, which is an annual percentage rate. So over the course of that 1 year, if you do not make any payments on that $1,000, you end up paying an extra $200 in interest. So, and like I said, that's if you haven't made any payments. At the end of the year, you're going to now not have $1,000 balance. You're going to have a $1,200 balance. And that's going to be the same thing for, let's say you're still not making payments and you've got that 20% APR. That next year, you're going to pay 20% on $1,200 if you don't make those payments. So that's kind of important to know. So generally, your interest rate is going to like flux. So the higher your credit score, the lower your interest rate. Now you're probably like, what the heck? This is getting really complicated. And I promise you, it seems really complicated, but one day it will make sense. So, what the heck is a credit score? All right, a credit score is a number between 300 and 850 that people use to assess your credit worthiness. Or essentially, it's a score that gives them an idea of how likely it is that you're going to pay off your loan on time. So when you're starting out and you do not either A, do not have a credit score, or B, have a credit score and just haven't been making payments, you're probably going to be between a 300 and 579, which puts you in the poor end. However, that's okay. The next tier is 580 to 669, which puts your credit score in the fair zone. The next one is 670 to 739, which is a good credit score. The next is a 740 to 799, which is a very good credit score. And an 800 to an 850 credit score is excellent. So, what is your credit score? My guess is you probably don't have one. Or if you do, it's probably really low. You guys are probably pretty young. And when you're really young, you're just starting out. So everybody's credit score starts off low, and then you have to do some things to kind of build it. So just because you don't have one or it's low, that is okay. We're going to talk about some things that you can do to either create credit or to improve credit next. But Credit Karma is a free website that you can Google, and they monitor your credit scores for you, which is really helpful and also very important to monitor. So now, if you don't have credit, how do you get credit? Applying for a secured credit card through your bank or opening your first credit account is something that you can do to build or to get credit. Talk to your bank about something with a low credit balance. Those are usually easier to qualify. So a low credit balance might be something like, $100 or $200. That doesn't seem like a lot, but remember, like we said, people are taking risks, and when you don't have credit, they have no idea how likely it's going to be that you're going to pay it back. So let's say you get approved for only $100. You make those payments every month and you pay off your credit card, they're going to extend your limit. So they make, reviews over time, and when you have a good payment history, your credit limits will go up, which is a good thing, but however can also get you in a lot of trouble, so be very careful with that. If you can't get a secured account open, you can also become an authorized user on somebody else's account, or open a joint account with somebody who has a good credit history, so maybe like a trusted family member. The thing with that is that, if you're becoming an authorized user on somebody else's account or opening a joint account, they are taking a gamble. And if you miss those payments, it's their credit score that is also going to be negatively impacted. So make sure that you are making those payments and that you have a good relationship with whoever it is that is helping you out with that. If you have credit already and you just need to improve it, some things you can do. If you, let's say, have your own place, maybe you're renting an apartment, you can ask your landlord or your utility company like DTE Consumers to report your positive payment history. You make sure if you have student loans that you're paying those on time every month. And take out an auto loan is another thing that you can do to kind of improve your credit history. So remember, guys, whether you're making payments or you're not making payments, we've talked about credit scores, but what I didn't say, you're going to go, let's say, onto Credit Karma, and let's say you look and you've got a credit score of 400 right now. How did you get that 400? Well, everything that you do that's attached to your Social Security number is reported to the credit bureaus. And the credit bureaus are who monitor our credit scores, okay? So if you're not making payments and it's your name and Social Security number that your landlord has or that the utility company has, and you miss some payments, those missed payments are reported to the credit bureaus. And then the credit bureaus are like, well, so-and-so's not making their payments. And that's how you negatively impact your credit scores. So on the other flip side, when you are making your payments on time, that can positively impact your credit scores. So again, continuing how to improve credit, we just said paying your bills on time. We talked about budgeting earlier this week, and budgeting is really helpful in making sure that you have enough money every month to pay the bills that you need to pay. So making sure also to pay off any debt that you have and keep your credit balances low. Just because you maybe, let's say, get approved for a $500 credit card doesn't mean that it's a good idea to necessarily go out and spend $500. Unless you have the money to pay it off that every month, then you can do what you want and, spend $10,000 for all I care. But it doesn't really look good if you max out your credit cards and can't afford to pay those off. So the rule of thumb that I was always taught growing up, in order to, improve your credit scores and keep your credit scores high, is don't put something on a credit card unless you can afford to pay it off. The next one is applying for and opening new credit accounts only when you really need to. It is helpful to have a credit account to build credit, but having too many credit accounts can actually lower your score. So every time you apply for, a credit card or a car loan or anything like that, they're using your social security number, like I said, to check for that and to check on whether or not they're going to approve you. And that's called an inquiry. Too many inquiries can lower your score. And then, on the flip side, let's say you've got a bunch of credit cards open and you're not necessarily using them all. Keeping them open and not using them is better than closing them. So unless a credit card or something is actually costing you money or you're paying fees on it, just keep those open and let them sit there. That's fine. And then we talked about keeping track of your credit earlier and the importance of doing that on a regular basis. Let's say you log into Credit Karma or whatever, reporting company that you're using to track your credit score, and you see something that you don't recognize or that just doesn't make sense, make sure to give them a call and say, this wasn't me, or, I'm not really sure what happened here, and dispute any inaccuracies that you see, which is, like I said, why it's one of the reasons why it's important to keep track of that on a pretty regular basis. All right, guys, that is about it for credit. Here are some of the resources that I used. You can see the Credit Karma there, and like I said, that's just one of many sites you can use. I hope that you guys enjoyed this, and you probably have a lot of questions, which is okay. This is adulting, it comes with a lot. So when we talk in our group, or if you have any follow-up questions, feel free to email us and we can help you out the best that we can. And we hope you guys have a great